Permit me to draw your attention to a trend in our society that most of you, even as believers, engage in. As a person, I do not believe academic grades is the only determinant of success in life. That is not to undermine the value of good grades. In fact, I admire and reward students who gain and aspire to acquire good grades in their studies. But there are other factors that will determine if a person will succeed or not. And this is the reason why students, parents, and even schools should not pay for their students to get a higher grade than they merit. By this I mean bribing their way and obtaining grades that are not a true reflection of a learner's performance. While there are various arguments about the grading system used in our schools, I think an important advantage of grading is actually to know what subjects a particular learner is good at, those he or she is struggling with, and thereby require extra training and resources. And also for career guidance, while you will all agree with me that corruption exists in most societies around the world, recent events have proved it is crucial that the educational sector is meticulously guarded against this harsh reality. In 2016, Nigeria ranked 136th place among 176 countries in Corruption Perception Index, as reported by Transparency International. Nigeria's educational sector has been particularly vulnerable to corruption. In 2013, Transparency International reported that about 30% of Nigerians surveyed said they had paid a bribe in the education sector. An Australian scholar, Tracy Bretack, summarized the conditions when describing Nigeria as a country where academic fraud is endemic at all levels of the education system, and misconduct ranges from cheating during examinations to more serious behavior such as impersonation, falsifying academic records, paying for grades, certificates with gifts, money, or sexual favors, terrorizing examiners and assaulting invigilators. This is how bad the Western world looks at our certificates. For Nigerian students to apply to study in the United States, a regulatory body takes time to investigate if the academic transcripts presented are genuine. Some schools will even conduct an entrance exam to be sure if the grades presented shows an accurate picture of the applicant's ability. As a result of widespread cheating, the West African Examination Council, WAEC, has deemed it necessary to start using biometric fingerprints technology when admitting students to SSC examinations. In 2015, WAEC stated that Nigeria had the highest number of cheating incidents of all 5 countries in which the council operates. The following year, WAEC ceased recognizing 113 Nigerian secondary schools implicated in examination malpractice and annulled the result of 30,654 candidates who sat for the 2012 SSC exams. The incident of fraud in university applications has caused the council to develop an elaborate scratch card system that utilizes an online PIN code verification method to verify the authenticity of exam results. Despite these efforts, we still know there's a widespread cheating. To parents and guardians, please do not pay for your children to be placed in special centers. Don't pay for someone to write their exams. Don't pay for special treatments. Don't pay for them to get grades you know they don't merit. You are not doing your child any good. You are not also doing the society and image of the country any good. If you know your child is struggling in specific subjects, then invest your money to buy the resources that will help them improve. You can also buy the best hands in that subject to teach them. They should merit every grade they earn so they can also defend the grades wherever they are found. It is a moral thing to do. It's appalling to see believers bribe and pay for grades. Please encourage your children to read and allow them to specialize in areas of their strength. Don't force them to specialize in an area that isn't their strength. For instance, if a child is good in arts, don't force the child towards sciences, which you know the child struggles with maths and other science subjects. This is why most of you end up paying for grades. Allow them to do what they can do easily. Not all doctors and lawyers are successful. I've seen successful doctors, lawyers, teachers, painters, tailors, businessmen, and women. What you should do as a parent is to guide them to discover their true potential by paying attention to the areas they excel in and providing the environment and resources for them to keep striving to excel. And this has nothing to do with money. They don't need money to read. Keep encouraging your children to be studious. You can't be in this church or anywhere you're hearing me, and not teach your children to be constant learners. You can't be in this church or any path where you're hearing me from and be paying bribe for your children. That is a total disgrace. To teachers, lecturers, and schools, please don't smear our educational sector more than it already is. You should be seeking to bring sanity and integrity back to our system and restore the pride our education used to have. How can a teacher, lecturer, and a school be exam malpractice machinery? You are a total disgrace and not worthy to be called a teacher or a school. Please let a school be a place where you offer the best of learning, exposure, and opportunities for your learners, while also striving to mold individuals that have good character. What will you teach them when your school is a center of malpractice? How can a teacher, lecturer encourage students to pay for grades? A teacher, lecturer who should be transferring knowledge and creating a learning environment for learners to reach their full potentials. Maybe you are in the wrong profession. No matter how the subject is, some teachers can teach them in the simplest of ways that are easier to comprehend. Please teach, don't encourage malpractice. This trend is common in most private and even government schools. Don't pay for your students to get the best SSCE results. Even in tertiary institutions, don't pay to acquire the best GPA or CGPA. Why on earth should a school do that? For instance, Workman International Academy can never belittle ourselves to that point. The grades the children get there are a true reflection of their performance. We can send our children anywhere in the world without any form of fear because we know we have trained them well and they merit every grade on their certificates. Please only send your children to schools that hold up to the obligations to teach your children, mold their character, also have a moral obligation not to encourage exam malpractice to students. Whoever encourages you to cheat is doing you great disfavor. You can cheat your way through school, but you can't cheat your way through life. When you land yourself a big job because of your bogus certificate, will you also cheat when it comes to the real life performance of the job? At that point, it will show that you bought that degree and grades. You owe yourself the great honor of earning every single grade by studying. You can pay your way through school, but can you pay your way through life? If you fail a course, honorably receipt and do better. Receipt is not an emblem of failure, but an avenue to correct your flaws and improve to come out good. I know people have failed at a time severally, but kept studying until they got it right and passed it. You can learn anything you want to. You have an advantage over an unbeliever because you have the Holy Spirit who can teach you anything and everything. Please let us not be part of the ones who buy grades and results. Merit every single of your grade so you can defend yourself and your qualification any day, anytime. To exam regulatory boards, and I close with them. As exam regulatory board, for crying out loud, why on earth should you be part of the corruption? You are there to ensure exams are free and fair, also free from any malpractice. Taking bribes to give good grades that are not merited make the organization a total failure and therefore shouldn't even exist. Do your jobs, please. Stop this embarrassment where the world has no respect for the certificates we issue. Let's bring back sanity and integrity to our educational sector. It's a collective effort. That's why I address the main players involved. I love education. I want to see children go to school and excel. I also want them to merit every grade they earn. Don't pay your way through school. You can't pay your way through life. One day you will be required to prove every certificate you present and have. I pray God will bless you and give you understanding.